Reggie here, your friendly
Have a good panel, everybody. Have fun. Good luck, Victor.
The host of the Go Collect speculation video. In this episode, we are going to spend some time talking about 6 blog posts that have been sent in to Go Collect. This first blogger does something that I think is really good. This second blog post is actually near and dear to my heart. So this next blog post is right up my alley. I want to play a game. The MCU has done some pretty interesting things, right? Folks over at Go Collect, it was all about more than meeting the eye. You could potentially get ahead of the curve, and we all know that Marvel is going to do something with Daredevil. While we are on this topic of Spider-Man, we have to acknowledge the elephant that is in the room, and the elephant is Miles Morales, a 3.5 sold. So there you have it. We have reached the end of another Go Collect weekly recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll tune in next week.
Hello and welcome to Wizard World Virtual Experiences. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics. We are streaming to you live on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, bringing you that Comic-Con life to the comfort of your home with these free, that's right, free celebrity panels. In addition to paid exclusive experiences, including one-on-one private video chats, custom recorded messages, and autographs, including these awesome Marvel stars that you will see today. Those are always on sale at wizardworldvirtual.com and will continue to be so throughout the week. So even if you're watching a replay, definitely check out these once-in-a-lifetime experiences with your favorite cast members. And don't forget to check out signed memorabilia and works of art from our favorite artists and vendors from previous virtual experiences and physical conventions at wizardworldvault.com. I got to give a shout out to Go Collect. They are our sponsors. They are fantastic. One-stop shop for all things collecting. They've got all the cool things, comic book speculations, video games, concert posters, all the goodness. Make sure you check them out at gocollect.com. They are absolutely fantastic. Now, before I bring these wonderful folks to the stage, I got to give some love to everyone watching across the globe. We've got people from Germany, California, Massachusetts, San Bruno, Oregon. Everybody is watching, and that is the greatest thing ever. It's time. It's time for us to bring these stars to the stage. So it is my absolute pleasure. She is the future of the MCU, in my opinion. That's how I feel about it. I don't know how you feel about it, but we're going to find out. Make some noise for Miss AKIRA Akbar. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Hello, hello. Next up from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we've got Agent 33. Let's hear it for Maya STOJAN. Yes. That's right. That's right. From the land of the Marvel Netflix Daredevil series, she was Elektra. She is Elektra. Make some noise for ELODIE Young, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, I love it. I love the energy. Also, a stone cold killer, okay? He's the baddest of bads, but he seems like such a nice guy. Let's hear it for Des Crawford, ladies and gentlemen. Hey! And literally, he could be his own multiversal Spider-Verse figure. Like, I mean, he's the voice of all things Spidey, in my opinion. Let's hear it for Christopher Daniel Barnes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Guys, how are we doing? How are we surviving 2020 right now? Is everyone doing okay?
Killer. It's a killer, isn't it?
Right?
It's like, just crazy. I think, well, everybody's got their own stories, I'm guessing. I actually flew, when it first started back in March, I flew back to the UK. I've been in the UK, and since then I'm flying back to LA on Tuesday.
Okay.
But, been an absolute
staying
nightmare.
safe though, right? Staying safe.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Of course, yeah.
Good. Anybody else? What's everybody else doing?
For me, it's been a killer. I mean, we have a 2-year-old, but we live in California and with no support at all. Like, our only support was the daycare, and since then it's been me and my husband running after our little Mina, who's adorable, but who's got so much energy, and it's just it's very hard. But you know, I count my blessing, and we're safe. We're together, so it's all good. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm very tired. And that's the first day, actually, I look all right because I put some makeup for you guys.
No, you look fantastic. Yeah. Come on. Actually, Aaron Agawa says that was an amazing entrance. So they're definitely loving your energy. So that works perfectly. Maya, how are you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, thanks. I was supposed to do a lot of traveling this year, so everything got canceled, and my family's in Switzerland.
Wow.
So I don't get to see them because if I went home to Switzerland, I'd have to quarantine for 14 days. And it's a whole, actually, I don't even know if I'm allowed at this point, to be honest. So
that is the scariest thing I've ever heard. Like, I don't even know if I can go home. Thank you, 2020. That's the worst. Yeesh.
But I'm you know, I'm healthy. I have so much to be grateful for. So, you know, at the same time, can't really complain. And yeah.
So glad to hear that. AKIRA, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. You know, I'm just in the house with my family. I really don't have anything to do. Just be on my phone.
Do we have any hobbies that you're taking up while you're, you know, stuck at home?
Well, I've been skateboarding a lot, like around my complex. So I've been
kind of awesome.
teaching myself a little bit.
Okay. Do we have any videos of this? Like, is that like another facet of your stardom?
Not really.
Okay.
But I want to be like a good skateboarder. Like I want to go to like Venice and then like skateboard at the skate park.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. I hope 2020 clears up so you can do just that. Chris, how are you doing in all of this?
Every morning I wake up and I say a prayer. I'm grateful for my health, my freedom, and my family, because it's absolutely what matters. If you have those three things, everything else is just gravy. Of course, in the meantime, the way 2020 has been going, I've started a garden in my backyard and stockpiling dry.
hey, smart man, okay?
Due to the giant earthquake and the meteor from space. So, and the zombie apocalypse while you're at it.
Oh, come on. Listen, if your spidey sense is tingling like that, I'm listening. So that's how it is right there. Okay, so obviously with all of you having multiple, you know, entrances to the Marvel Cinematic or Marvel Universe, I should say as a whole, what was your first taste of Marvel Comics? Where did you come in to this beautiful franchise of superheroes and awesomeness? Chris, let's start with you.
Start with me because I'm probably the oldest here. So I'll go first. So I started reading comics obviously as a kid. I write short stories now about you know, my past and my life in Hollywood. But one of the things that really helped me through that, especially childhood, was comics, because they are the modern mythology. You know, people don't really read Bullfinch's mythology anymore, or the Aeneid, or you know, etc. But comics are the way that we express and learn these mythological Jungian archetypes, and that's why they're so popular. That's why the MCU is so popular. And so I started reading comics very young, and I actually think that gave me a bit of a leg up when I first auditioned for Spider-Man, because when I was in the booth, and voiceover actors all know that you're basically just alone in a little dark, confined space. And so when you're doing your thing, you generally have your eyes closed and you're imagining. So I was imagining all those years of reading about Spider-Man and what he was doing. So I'd be reading the script and saying the lines, just imagining in my, you know, sort of inner world what he would be doing. And I think that came across. So that was my first introduction to comics, and
awesome,
wonderful experience.
That is awesome. Kira, what about you?
Well, I actually don't read comics. When I booked the role for Monica Rambeau, I was looking for comics, but there wasn't really any. So
really,
yeah, I kind of got bummed for that, because they were, you know, I wanted to read them because I haven't read any comics. I was like, I feel kind of left out because I don't really know a lot about her. Yeah, but they were also like, I think I saw like a couple on Amazon, but they were like really expensive.
Yes, they kind of are. But the reason for that is because Monica is a very important character. Obviously, you're playing her very early in her career, but as she, you know, grows in value and power, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, she's very important. So just throw that out there. So the last three, you guys grew up internationally, correct? So that's a really big question. How did you get into any form of Marvel comic stuff? Let's start with Elodie.
I didn't. I discovered, you know, I was reading Asterix et Obelix. This is and Tintin. That's what we have in France growing up, you know?
Yep.
And Maya, you grew up in Switzerland?
Yeah, in Geneva, so the French-speaking part.
Okay, so this is what I was reading as a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Marvel world really opened up to me when I booked the job.
Okay.
And also down the line of the auditioning process, because I didn't know it was Elektra. And at some point at the last round, they were like, it's for Elektra. So then I was like, okay, comic book shop, what is it? And you can't find those comics everywhere. So I went in, I think it was like Gold Comic. I don't know, it's somewhere in Melrose, I think. And I just, you know, bought everything I could. to read about Elektra and know a little bit more about her. And I came across something, a collection called Elektra Assassin, and this is nuts. This is crazy things. And I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to shoot? It was really exciting, but it's a lot of violence and twisted things and psychological, traumas. So,
yes.
So this is how I introduced myself really to comics. Very, very lately in my life. Is it English? Yeah.
It works. And we're glad that you're here. Like, that's what really matters, that you're one of us now. Maya, what about you? You were saying that you read some, but not a lot?
So I actually grew up being a huge fan of Batman.
Okay.
So not Marvel, but
it's all right. It's all right. Know your enemies. That's what that is.
Posters of Batman all over my room, and so I like the comic book world. And my mom still remembers I was in the back seat, and I said, Mom, I think I want to be a villain one day. And, and my mom was like, so, I don't know, but I didn't, same as ELODIE, I didn't have many comic books growing up. It wasn't really in our vicinity. So yeah, it just sort of, I learned more as I grew up and came to America, for sure.
Got you. Now, Daz, the UK branch of Marvel is so important. So many creators have come from that. Talk to me. I know you got a long time history with this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with those comics, with Batman and Spider-Man and the Hulk and all that kind of. Do you know what? I really wish I still had those comics, because I bought them, when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. And looking how big it's become, because back then, there were no movies. Nobody was making movies of these characters or cartoons. But that's where it went. And I think for me, just growing up, I had loads of them. I just had hundreds of these magazines, these comic books. And then when I worked with Marvel the first time, which was 20 years ago with Blade.
Blade 2, yes.
Blade 2, yeah. For me, I grew up watching Wesley. So working with Wesley was really odd. 1 minute I'm just watching him on TV and movies, and now I'm working with the guy, and Chris Christopherson and Ron Perlman, all that crew, and it was just it was surreal for me, because I'm reading comics and now they're standing in front of me, and that was really quite early on in my career, so it was really good fun. It was great fun, and Guillermo del Toro is like, where do you go with that guy, because he's just amazing.
Just absolutely the coolest.
Hey, Dad, speaking of comic book collections, when I was a kid, I had a comic book collection also. And I remember when I was very young, I saved up my allowance and I bought X-Men 1 for $25.
Whoa.
And I had like several thousand comics. And of course, they all got thrown away.
No! Not the harshest. It is so dark. So
dark. You're cussing right now, because that thing would be worth a bomb.
Oh my goodness!
The plastic containers sealed.
That just wounds me. That wounds me. Actually, we've got some fans that are saying Pink Assassin 1 wishes that this panel was in person, because they love all things Captain Marvel and would love to meet AKIRA in person. So that's kind of amazing. For all, what does it feel like to be a part of the superhero world and fandom? Have you had a great experience with it, or is it something to get used to?
You never get used to the costume. I don't know about you guys. This is something that I'm never going to get used to. This is like some sort of plastic, unbreathable, texture. It's just, this is my little moan.
I get that. It's hard to fight.
You can't do it on set, right? You can't moan on set, because you'll never get another job, right?
You're in costume, maybe.
Right.
I'm
right. AKIRA, how about you? How have you enjoyed being a part of this?
I feel really grateful, honestly. It's kind of, hold on, I don't know where I just went. It's crazy. Like, are you talking about like the fans, or?
Yeah, has everyone been cool to you? Like, I mean, I don't want to have to knuckle up and beat somebody up because they weren't cool with you, but hopefully you've enjoyed the experience of doing all this.
Yeah, I have actually, but like some fans are just like crazy. Like they'll find like other social media of mine and then like try to call me and stuff, and then like they
Whoa.
keep calling me, so I have to like end up blocking them. I feel really bad about it, but I'm like, I mean, I have to do what's best.
Yes,
Don't
yes,
feel
you
bad
do.
about it.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
feel
no,
bad
no.
about it.
Protect yourself. Matter of fact, let me just speak as moderator for all things. People, don't do that. Okay, that is uncool. That is not the way to make friends. Don't do that. Daz, what about you? How have you enjoyed being a part of this for so long, even?
Oh, amazing! I think when I booked the Blade job, for me, like I said, that was quite early on in my career. I'd only been acting a couple of years, and it was a dream. When I look back, jumped to X amount of years later, and then then went to Shield. I never thought about working with Marvel again. And then this came about, and I was on a few episodes of that show. I just love it. I love the Marvel universe. I'm really into that kind of work. Anyway. It's fun, and when you look at the end results of all the programs that you see, it's really addictive. Whether you are a fan or you're an actor in it, it's just as much fun.
My internet is stopped everything. Oh no.
No, you're fine. We can still hear you.
You guys.
Although you do have like the greatest froze face right now, so we're just gonna keep moving. This is perfect. This is amazing. But you're still in here, so keep talking.
This is.
Oh, you're back.
Okay.
So Maya, being a part of the same Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. franchise, how has it been for you?
Really amazing. I mean, I really have zero complaints. I actually didn't know till I think I had even forgotten that I had auditioned for it. It was sort of 10 days later, and it was supposed to be for a one-time episode, and I ended up being there for a full season. So it couldn't have been more magical, and it felt like a total miracle somehow, some way.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, you have so many different like franchises under your belt. How has it been to separate specifically the Marvel stuff? Has that been really fun, or is it just like, oh, you Marvel guys, y'all are crazy?
I love it. I'm a big Joseph Campbell, Carl Jung geek. So I look at this stuff through the lens of mythology and psychology. So being a part of this has been sort of participating in the modern mythological language. When you play a role like this or any of these roles, you're the modern incarnation, the modern avatar of this mythic archetype, and that means a lot to people. So when people come up to me and they'll say things like, you helped me get through being bullied in school as Spider-Man, that means a lot to me. And it's it definitely means a lot to me. They called me actually when I was done doing Spider-Man, obviously for many years, because I was very young when I did it. They called me back a few years ago and they said, we want you to be part of Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, was a video game. And I said to them, well, of course I would love to, but I think I'm a little too old to play the sort of coming of age hero archetype that Spider-Man represents. And they said, no, this is a different character. This is Spider-Man Noir. This is he's older.
That's right.
I often make this joke. I said this to them, and they said, well, he's older, he's darker, he's bitter. I go, oh, so he's me.
So
sign me up.
Yeah, this is me right here. Now, I mean, obviously, with Nick Cage playing the same character, there's some differences between how you guys approached it. Could you step back and go, that was amazing? Or did you put yourself in that and go, oh, I would have made that choice, or I would have done this a little differently?
You know what? Everybody's take is different. Everybody has something different to offer. As long as they're doing their best to be true to the character, I mean, that's all that really matters. Because we're just vehicles. We're just vessels for the fans to experience the archetype. Just do that. And if you appreciate it, and if you love the character, and if you love the story, and you love the mythology, do your best to portray it, and then just interact with the fans that way. And that's what it's really all about. It's like you have to sort of take yourself and just put you to the side. It's not about you.
Right.
It's
there you
about
go.
Or whatever the character is. It's about that. And so let it be about that. That's my take.
That's so well said. And it's so funny. Like, as you're saying this, I still hear Peter Parker in you right now. So I'm like, you're absolutely right, Peter. Great power. You're absolutely right. Alex Martin 85 asked a question. This is for Elodie. During the Daredevil series, was it ever discussed about introducing the Beast into the storyline with Elektra? How did that play out in terms of what they were going to do in terms of the story?
Marvel, in my experience, very secretive. So from the moment you start auditioning until the end of a series, you never know where it's going. And which I kind of embraced and liked, working a bit like blindfolded. But I knew from the first meeting that I had with the showrunners that they really wanted to get as close as the comic as they could. So they really wanted her to be kind of a sociopath and to have those amazing abilities, like all those skills, physical skills. They wanted her to have this extremely strong bond with Daredevil. So I had all of that in mind, and they wanted to make it as real as possible as well, not comic-y, not super, above human. They wanted us to be grounded, which I really appreciated because, I could just pour my heart into this character rather than thinking, oh, there's a stereotype and trying to mold myself into it. So this is how we operated throughout the series. And then when we did the Defenders, then it was completely like, it was a complete different arc for my character again. So yeah.
Of course. That's awesome. Jeannie 4 actually is piggybacking off of that and is asking about the physical training that you guys might have had to do if you had to do physical training for your roles. What was that like?
Well, I just want to carry on a little bit. So season 2, when I jumped in this character, they thought I was a real ninja. Marvel guys, they were like, yeah, sure, here's your size. And then go ahead. I don't know if you guys have had to do this, but basically this is how we did it. And I have some martial arts experience. I'm quite physical, so it was okay. And, no one got injured on this season. But literally, Charlie and I, every Friday with the stunt team, we were doing our choreographies, and we were doing 3 moves at a time. So we were learning on the spot. So when they brought me back for Defenders, and then Jeff Loeb was like, oh, it's going to be even more physical. I'm like, okay, this time I'm going to train. I'm starting the training in LA before you move me back to New York. And then it was great because I think you do need some sort of training to just avoid injuries and also to be really, really, like, to make it real for the fans, for the project. So I enjoy training personally.
Beautiful. Maya?
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I mean, it felt I have dance training, so it felt sort of like a dance. And yeah, I mean, I did have a stunt double, I did a lot of my own things, but it was always then, being thrown against the window, thrown against a car, whatever it was. I feel that stunt doubles don't get enough credit. So I'm always trying to,
That's awesome.
They
deserve all kinds of love for the crazy that they have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. She was
absolutely.
incredible.
Des?
Yeah, I've got quite an extensive sporting history anyway. I boxed for England. I played national basketball. I do kung fu. So it really did help. But I do remember auditioning for Blade, and it was all martial arts. That's all they wanted. Just show us what you can do and just do it to the camera. So, but I think actors, a lot of actors are, they keep in shape. They do go to the gym naturally. You've got to be quite active. You need to be fairly healthy anyway. Right. But I think it's depending what the role is, will depend how much you really need to practice. And like you were talking about, some doubles, they are good and they do throw themselves around, but it's very hard to find somebody to be my double. I'm 6'4" and 220 pounds. It's very difficult to find someone. So I do like to do my own stunts anyway, or as much as I can, or as much as they let me. But other than that, yeah, it's to me it adds a bit more, especially when you do the work and it's you that's done that and you haven't had to use somebody else. That for me is, for me, it's more personal. I feel like, yeah, it's all me. And,
awesome.
It's much more fun doing it that way.
I love that. Akira, do you have any plans to do some more action-oriented stuff?
Well, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that maybe. Like that's perfect for me. I mean, I don't know. I can see you, with the sweet smile, but the killer hands. Like I'm calling that. It's happening. I'm seeing that coming. Brian Nosbaum has a question for Chris. What was the experience like working on The Little Mermaid? And for anyone else that's interested in voiceover work, to hear what that's like.
Well, when I did The Little Mermaid, I mean, I was 15, and it was sort of at the beginning of that new Katzenberg era. So Disney wasn't quite, what it would then become. I think the previous movie was like The Great Mouse Detective, which has one of my favorite all-time villains, Ratigan. But, So, I was just a 15-year-old kid doing a television series at the time, and I could audition for it and get the role. Now that was very different. Obviously, you have to be a celebrity, and it's a whole different thing. All the billions of dollars in movies have made. But back then, we didn't know. We didn't know what we were signing up for, and it has sort of been a really wonderful journey to over the subsequent decades to have people come up and say, "I love The Little Mermaid. My daughter loves The Little Mermaid. My granddaughter is now loving The Little Mermaid." I have a joke when I'll go to conventions and I'll sign the pictures of Prince Eric. I'll take the gray Sharpie and I'll put a beer up and I'll write King Eric. That's
yes, absolutely. I have to admit, Little Mermaid is one of my top Disney features, so it can be sung on command. I'm just letting y'all know that. Peak Assassin says, being involved with all the cool costumes, props, and sets of the superhero universe, is there any memorabilia from set that you cherish? And I'm going to add on to that, or have stolen. Let's just put it out there. What pieces do you love, and is there anything that you've taken? Akira, let's start with you, because you look like the sweetest one who probably took the most stuff. I'm just throwing that out there.
I have not taken anything. I wish I did, though.
What would you take? If you could take anything, what would it have been?
There's this cute little this thing that I was playing with when I was shooting the movie. I was sitting on the couch and I was playing this ball, and it had some designs in it, and it was I would have took that.
I just knew she was gonna say I would have taken the Flurkin home, and no, you don't take those home. Those are dangerous. I understand that though. I understand that.
It's not a stuffed animal. It's like a, what is this? They move. It's a Flurkin though.
See, creepy. You gotta keep your eye on the Flurkins, man. Those are dangerous. Maya, what about you?
I actually went to my costume fitting with these pants on, these black leather pants, and I didn't think twice about it. It's just my pants, but they loved them so much that they said, "Can we use those? And can we tell us where you got them? We'll get you 4 pairs." And then I got to keep I've got so many black leather pants in my wardrobe just from, they just let me keep them because they were
you were the character.
Right.
You were the character. You went in perfect.
They never let me keep anything, and I always try my best to take as much as I can. Let me tell you, I was doing GI Joe, so it's I only have on my whole for Elektra, I only have my training size, which are plastic red, and it's not as cool. But on one production, I was doing GI Joe, and I had this really cool leather jacket, puffy, cool. And I took it thinking, okay, it's mine. But the costume designer agreed. And then they had me send them back a month later because we were doing some reshoots. But I'm so unlucky, Maya. I'm jealous.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'll give you one of my leather pants.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel that. Thank you.
Look at the teamwork right here.
Well, what about me?
Wait, whoa. You said 6'4", sir. 6'4". That's a little much.
Probably a bit of a squeeze, but
Is there anything that you've taken, Daz?
All I've got, I was just trying to think then, all I've actually got is the fangs that I wore in Blade 2. But I wanted the hammer, but they wouldn't.
Yeah, I would have pushed for the hammer right away.
Oh, give me the hammer any day, but they wouldn't give me the
hammer. Oh no, I broke it. I'll just take this home.
That was it was a 50-pound hammer. It was a heavy hammer.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I was just trying to think if I've got anything else, and I really can't remember anything else unless it's in a box somewhere that I've forgotten.
Now you're going to have to go back and look and discover it all over again, which would be awesome. Chris, do you have any cells or anything from the show that you've been on?
Yeah, I do actually have one of the original cells from The Little Mermaid. Actually,
That's cool.
But with being voiceover for the voiceover work, I never got to show up in leather pants. It was just sweatpants as I rolled up.
I mean, you could have shown up in leather pants. We just couldn't appreciate it in the same way. Let's see. Jesse Moore and Jim Lehman. Elodie, would you like to return as Elektra?
Oh my God, I would love to.
Okay, all right.
Especially since they've adjusted my my costume, from season 1 to season 2. I would love to. You know what? Let me tell you, I love this character because she's so complex and broken, and she's got a lot of villain in her that I can relate to, and also a lot of good. And it's such an amazing character. I would love him, for Marvel to bring her back.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's my answer.
Chris, would you jump into the Spider-Verse stuff?
Are you kidding? I've had the honor of playing 30 different Spider-Man over the years. It's been incredible. Yeah, I would do it in a second. I mean, I love it, and it's a great honor every time they ask me to participate. And I, of course, would. They actually have had me come back now with multiple roles as the villain. And as the old saying goes, die the hero or live long enough to become the villain.
That's right. That's right.
Wolf, spider, all kinds of things. But all
right, so let me ask this. Which is better, playing the hero or playing the villain? Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Cool.
Well, it may be more important to play the hero, but it's more cathartic to play the villain.
Oh, well said. Well said. I think everyone just agreed, yes, I need to get that out sometime. So, Kira, we're looking for you. Whatever villainous role, we're going to be looking. In fact, Jeannie4 asked, if you could play the Marvel character of your choice, anybody else, who would it be?
All right, I'll go first. I would like to play Nightmare in Doctor Strange.
Wow.
Fascinating character. And I think there would be a lot of voiceover and CGI. Of course, they wouldn't hire me, but that's what I would love to do.
No. I mean, come on now. We're literally pulling from Sam Raimi is supposed to be doing this one. So the past Spider-Man, kind of connection could be there. Don't knock it out. That's all I'm saying.
Dark, it's psychological, it's interesting, and it's a very, very, a very wicked character. It's very interesting.
Okay. Twitter fingers. Let's make this happen. This sounds fantastic. I love it. Maya, what about you?
I need to watch more Marvel. Now I'm really excited.
Absolutely.
I that's basically what my homework will be.
Okay. We'll follow back up,
I'm like Maya, don't ask me this question.
Yeah. This is I'll figure it out and I'll come back to it. It'll be perfect.
I will. I'll be back in the next panel.
Okay, I'm ready for this. Daz, what about you? Who would you do?
A villain or a hero?
Okay. I mean,
which one?
Does it matter? It's up to you.
Question was
I get cast. Sorry?
Well, I'm saying anybody. If you could play anybody, not just a villain, I'll be open to it.
If I was going to play, I would probably go for Silver Surfer.
Oh, well played.
Yeah.
Very well played.
Yeah, you don't.
Listen, I would love to see that actually. I think the physique works, the height.
Yeah.
That's pretty on point.
I've thought about it, and I do get auditions and cast for villains quite a bit. There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
That would suit you well, Daz. Yeah.
The great emissary of world destruction.
Right.
And
Herald of all
that
things.
Would be me. That would be me. Like something like that.
Okay. Now, Elodie, I have to ask, who? Anyone, or are you just so satisfied with Elektra? What would it be?
I know. I answered your question. I'm like Maya, who's lying and says that she's going to do her homework.
Okay, fair game.
I don't know enough about the Marvel villain in the Marvel world to say anything. But I do like from what I know and what I've seen, I think it would have been really fun for me to be Jessica Jones. Because she's always drunk and she just doesn't care about anything, which is not me. It's not me at all.
Yeah.
I love the throw in, the cleanup. That's not me. I'm so far from that. So AKIRA, who would you play if there's anyone else that you could dabble with? Do you have any ideas?
Well, I definitely do need to do my homework on Marvel. So
Right.
I need to get back to you on that one.
Fair game, fair game. If I could make a recommendation, strictly age-wise, Moon Girl is who I would throw out. She is literally like one of the smartest characters in all of Marvel Comics, and I think you would bring a lot of life and awesomeness to her. So I'm gonna just throw that out there. Plus, you get to ride on a giant dinosaur. So, you know, that's just one of those cool things. Let's see. We've got oh wait, Alex Martin 85 says, Daz, I'm the same size as you. They're volunteering to be your double. So boom.
There you go, you found it.
That's pretty dope. Now now this one is really only for the hardcore Marvelites. So I'm not gonna task anyone that doesn't want to do this, but without cheating, can you tell us what SHIELD stands for? Can you do it? Strategic
Strategic Homeland.
SHIELD, Agents of SHIELD. What can it be?
Intelligence.
It's got to be department. The last word has got to be department, right?
I think it's Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division from my what I recall.
And this is why people think you're a ninja. The way you just made that work.
I'm a good liar.
Well done.
Brilliant.
Absolutely well done. That is the way to do this. Let's see. The biggest question right now, fans want to know, and this will kind of be one of our wrap-ups. What is coming up for you? What are some of your upcoming projects? Who wants to start? Who wants to start? Who can tell? Who's allowed?
I've got something that I can talk about.
Okay.
So there's I'm gonna do this really cool pilot, and I'm hoping it will go to a series. It's called The Cleaning Lady. That's Fox Television, and it's about this immigrant who comes with her son to the United States. She's a doctor. She lived in the Philippines, but they built it a little bit around me at the end, so she's gonna be Cambodian. And she comes to the US, and then time passes and can't get her visa working, with the time, and she has to go and be working illegally. And it's great. It's about immigration. It's about this woman who's just like fighting for her life and her son. And then she has to work as a cleaning lady, and then she'll come across like really bad guys. So it's a bit like Ozark, it's like an Ozark type of show, which I'm very excited about.
That's awesome.
Really, fingers crossed.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds
Let's
good.
look for that one. Daz?
I'm currently working on something right now, which I can say is called Dawn of the Predator. We actually started shooting before the lockdown, and we nearly got to the end. We've got a few days left shooting. We were so close. So I'll be carrying on with that soon when I get back to LA.
Okay.
There's a feature coming out in September called Beast Mode, which I get to play something different for a change. I'm actually an agent, an actor's agent.
Nice.
So that was quite fun, but it's a rom-com. It's comedy and horror. So again, that's very funny, but there's horror in there as well. And while I've been on lockdown, I've been requested for something which I cannot talk about.
Okay.
But it's really, really good.
That's awesome.
Really good.
That's awesome.
And that will probably be shooting early next year. But
Okay.
it's big and it's very, very nice. And I'm very happy.
That's awesome. I can't wait. I'll be watching, like, I know him. I talked to him. Yes. That's
Me too,
awesome.
on Zoom.
I'll take pictures of it. Maya, what about you?
I too have a project coming up that I can't really talk about next year. It was supposed to shoot end of this year, but now it's shooting next year, and it's a World War II project, which I'm super excited about. And I have a movie on Netflix right now called Fatal Affair. It was #1, and so I'm super excited. And it's definitely one of those movies, but it's with Omar Epps, Nia Long, and it's pretty much in the title, Fatal Affair.
It's really good though. I've watched it. It's really good. It's really good.
Other kind of affair,
right? An affair to remember, maybe. That's close to get. Chris, what about you?
I write short stories, and my short stories are I have to write a disclaimer on my website because if you think Spider-Man and Little Mermaid, it's think again. No, I write very, very dark, very adult short stories, and on my website, and it's just a journey of catharsis for me. And
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, Akira, I understand. I warn people all the time. Disney has assassins all over the place. So I don't want you to say anything that would get you in trouble because it might activate the Electra complex in Melody. So Elodie, she might just decide to just
not do anything to Akira. It's just...
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So can you say if you have anything coming up that returns to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Are you allowed to intimate anything of the sort?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Okay.
You have a movie coming up. It's on Netflix and it's called We Can Be Heroes. And it's funny because I actually play a superhero on that.
Of course you do. Who is surprised? No one. That's awesome. Do you know when that one's dropping?
I think in the fall.
Okay. That's awesome. Can you give us anything about that series, or is it total under lock and key? We just have to watch it when it comes out.
Well, I can say what it's about, but I can't say my character.
That's fair. I don't even want to. Yeah.
It's about an alien invasion, and an alien invasion takes all the parents, and so all the kids, which are the superheroes, try to save them. So yeah, it's basically like kids saving them.
I love that. I'm definitely going to be up watching that one. Popcorn, probably my PJs. It's going to happen. That's fantastic. As we wrap things up, would you like to say anything to the fans that are watching? I mean, literally, we've got folks across the globe. So what do you guys want to say? Anyone wants to start?
I wish I could have seen you. It's just weird because I feel like I'm only seeing 5 people, me including. So. But I just wish I could have seen you guys, and I missed you. I miss those moments where I go to some conventions and I meet you, and I really like that actually. So keep it up. Also keep it up during the pandemic.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Maya?
No, well said. I too miss the face-to-face interaction with you guys, and I'm so grateful that you're all here, and I look forward to when we can be all back together. But faith up, and things will get better soon. I just know it.
Beautiful. Akira?
Well, thank you so much for watching, and I really wish this was in person because I just wish them all cheering and stuff, and wear your mask so we can get out of this building.
That's right. Yes, 100%. Daz?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, really, because without you guys, girls, and everybody, we're nobody. Without the fans, we're nothing. So thank you for your support. You've got to stay safe, be careful, look after each other.
Yes.
And watch out for more Marvel stuff because we'll all be there. Absolutely. And you can enjoy it.
Absolutely.
So be safe, okay?
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Christopher.
Well, thank you everybody for watching. Stay strong, stay safe. Remember, we're all in this together. And if there's one thing that we can learn from the mythology of superheroes, it's that, of course, superheroes aren't really about the extraordinary. They're about what's inside all of you.
Oh, my goodness. Well said. That is the perfect way to end this one. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for these wonderful, wonderful talents. Thank you guys for joining us. And as they are stepping off the stage, I want to remind you, you can actually get a kind of one-on-one piece with them with the upcoming chats that are available through wizardworldvirtual.com. So even if you're watching this live right now or on a replay later, those will still be available. So definitely take a time to visit wizardworldvirtual.com and purchase this. So you can actually get that interaction because obviously they want that. They want to see you guys. So again, one more time, let's hear it for Chris, Daz, Maya, Elodie, and Akira. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. We thoroughly appreciate your love, your energy. Absolute fans for life. You guys are fantastic. Thank you guys. You guys stay safe. And we look forward to seeing more of your work soon.
Thank you, Victor.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Guys. Thank you
Bye,
very much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye. Oh, that was. Oh. I'm all aflutter now. I'm all kinds of a flutter. Thank you guys.
Oh, it's
very,
not
very,
just
very
for
much.
you, Victor.
But it doesn't matter. I'm a part of it. It was right here. It was right here. I will share, but I still feel.
Okay.
Again, thank you guys very, very much. You guys have a great, great weekend, and we'll see you guys in a few days with the private chats.
Okay. You take care.
Thanks,
Nice
guys.
meeting everybody. Bye. Bye.
Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. So awesome. So awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps our panel. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics. And once again, don't forget, if you're watching this on a replay, even if you were watching it live and you want to watch it again, because you should definitely check out the things that we're offering on wizardworldvirtual.com. It's so amazing. Like literally video recorded chats, private messages, autographs, all the cool things that you would get from a physical Comic-Con, you can still have. So take advantage of this ASAP. We got some amazing panels coming up. Tomorrow, I will be on tomorrow doing another You Create Comics presentation, which will be so much fun. We'll also have Phantoms Anonymous and the cast of Sabrina. That's all tomorrow, let alone for the rest of the week. We've got Buffy, we've got Supergirl, we've got all the things that you want. Wizard World Virtual. Wizard World is bringing all the goodness to your home. Don't miss out. It is fantastic. Once again, I'm the hardest working man in comics, Victor Dandridge, at Vantage In-House. Peace out. Love, peace to all of you.
Round of applause for Victor!